Loading snacks.
What's going on, everybody? Y'all know what it is. We're at Baltimore Comic Con 2024.
BCC!
And we walk around, we see things we like, we bring it to you guys. That's what's happening right now. So please, creators, pay attention to this one specifically. Introduce yourself to everybody.
Hey, my name is Mark Bernal. I'm here with Jade Louder. I'm the founder of Lesser Known Comics. I made a bunch of comics myself back starting in 2020 and started working with amazing creators like Jade Louder. We worked on a book together called Dead and Still Dying. And then, I started publishing other folks' books. Jade's got a bunch of awesome stuff, a bunch of campy, cool, fun horror stuff.
Yeah, mostly kind of inspired by like cheesy, over-the-top 80s kind of comedy horror and stuff like that. My own series, It's a Horror Show. Each issue is like a standalone story, so it's all self-contained and whatnot.
Okay.
So you're getting a full story every issue and stuff like that. I'm up to issue 3. That's where we got going on this weekend and stuff like that.
Okay, so Lesser Known Comics. How'd that become a thing?
Okay, so you know that lady that like adopts one cat and then like adopts like 2 cats and then she just becomes, so that's like me but with comic book artists.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, I'm gonna work on a comic book. And my wife gave me permission to make one comic.
Okay.
And then like a couple months later, she's like, hey, did you start a comic book company? And I was like, I might have accidentally started a comic book company. Not the worst thing. It's not the worst thing you can
Took that ball and ran with it.
Yeah. So no, when I started working with creators on my story, they would post up to Instagram, wherever, right? And people were like, dude, that's awesome. And just talent attracts other talent, And I was just lucky enough to be like part of it. I feel very humbled by the fact that like I'm just the writer. These guys, what they do is the magic. So and we got to end up. It gives me the opportunities to make like Dead and Still Dying. That was a really fun book. Especially like for me as a writer, like Jade, he writes and illustrates. So what he did with Dead and Still Dying is like having that writer's room feel. We got another person in there.
So what is Dead and Still Dying about?
Yeah, sure. Dead and Still Dying is about a group of high school kids. Take it out. Show you all. It's about a group of high school kids that have kind of a run-in with a witch who's a little bit on a drunken bender.
Okay.
And so it's got like very strong Stranger Things, Goonies kind of vibes to it.
That's exactly the vibe I got when I saw that. Okay, it's giving off Stranger Things.
Yeah, but it's about these high school kids, and they're giving each other guff like throughout the entire book. So there's a lot of like great jokes. Mark is awesome at writing like dialogue between back and forth and whatnot. And so my job was just to like not screw it up. Just make it
yeah, it's all like loosely based on like the people I grew up with in high school. And actually, when I grew up, they built a town behind our town, but they were not able to sell the houses right away, so they left a bunch of abandoned houses.
Just a good surrounding.
Totally. They were
like,
like, hey, don't go back there, kids. And he's like, of course,
So we feature that in there and all the shenanigans that they get up to in this kind of like abandoned housing complex and whatnot. And they like the high school kids have like a little kind of like a club that they host out of one of those houses, and that's where they have that run-in with that witch who's kind of also using that house.
Okay.
It's kind of like our little our double-page spread in the book is of that kind of housing complex, and they're coming back to retrieve their belongings after getting spooked by that witch. And unfortunately,
probably all those left after something. The jocks show up.
There you go. Yeah.
But it fits into a wider universe that I was building. Same characters in there are in this either That For Us story and the Death Wish story. I made a bunch of other.
Would that be the witch?
That's her.
I see, doing your own little universe there. All right, you have a lot of different books on the table. Do you have a personal favorite?
Personal favorite.
Not saying something against the other ones, just one that just is a favorite of like yours.
Be very careful with this one.
Exactly. No, okay, so it's not just because he's standing right here. It's not just because he's standing right.
Not including him.
I do have to shout out because The Breakup, which is Jade's newest book, is
this one right here.
Yes, yeah. One you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, it has one of the best endings I think any comic book has in terms of just how it's finally summed up. But you want to describe the story?
Yeah. So The Breakup is essentially about the worst breakup of all time. It's your classic story of boy meets girl, boy tries to bury girl alive as part of a cult ritual. Girl escapes and goes on bloody revenge. And
Sounds like something right up my alley.
there
Okay.
you go. A lot of the cult members, you know, that are in this book, I asked for some likenesses from the different creators from lesser known comics.
Okay.
And so it's featuring Mr. Mark Bernal right there getting a trowel to the face.
That's brutal.
Dan Price has got Bigfoot Knows Karate. He's also at the con. He's featured in here as well.
Another way you guys just incorporate the creators. Like,
Oh, yeah.
That is really cool.
I got to shoot him in the back in a different book.
And then and he printed his first. And like I told him I was doing this first, and so he beat me to the punch for like a month.
That's hilarious. But no, that sounds absolutely awesome. All this sounds awesome. What you're doing for creators and the content you all are putting out is great. And I love, like I said, the collaboration between everybody to throw little hints and stuff in each other's books and everything. That's awesome. But if they're not here, the people watching and just whoever is not here, where can they go online to find all of this stuff?
Oh yeah, so first place to start, lesserknowncomics.com. That's got all the books for sale there. And then following us on Instagram is probably where we're most active, just at Lesser Known Comics. But we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, we're on TikTok kind of. But yeah. And then I'd encourage, especially creators, like reach out. We help creators even if they're not publishing with us. You know, hey, how do I get ready for a convention? How do I do Kickstarter? How do I, you know, just find people to work with? You know, like
it's a great resource, and everybody's like really willing to share information about like best practices for printing to doing conventions to Kickstarters and all that kind of stuff. It's a really good community of people to work with and bounce ideas off of.
That's awesome. I think y'all have something really, really great going on here with your mindset and how you're approaching everything is really cool. I appreciate you all taking out the time to speak with us. Y'all know what it is. Baltimore Comic Con. We got a lot more to do. We'll catch you later.
Awesome.
What's going on, everybody? Did you enjoy what you saw? Of course you did. So if you want to help us out and support us, here's what you can do. On whatever platform you're currently streaming us on, just like, share, and subscribe. Then head over to patreon.com/loading snacks and become one of our patrons there.